Hello, my name's Mark. I made Armoured Gaming and I'm here to tell you about my game, Knight. So what is Knight? Knight is a game about playing Arthurian style knights. It's similar to other games of its ilk, such as things like Pendragon, and in fact Pendragon is one of the inspiring documents for Knight, but it uses a, in some ways, more simplified rules system to actually adjudicate what's going on at the time in the adventure. But on top of that, it does something significantly different to Pendragon, because Knight is a game about player collaboration. In other games of its ilk, the GM runs the entire story and the players play their characters out and that's just the way that it rolls. But in Knight, the players have a great deal of collaborative storytelling power in what they do. The game is separated into three different phases. The quest phase, which is the standard adventuring phase that you might be aware of, the thief phase, and free play. If you play games like Blades in the Dark or other Forged in the Dark type systems, then you'll be aware of different phases. So basically there's the adventure phase, which I call a quest phase, where the knights go out and do some sort of adventure. Perhaps they rescue an innocent from a troll or some other type of adventure. They do something important to the setting as a group of knights together. The second part is the thief phase. Now this is where the players really start to contribute and collaborate with what's going on, because they begin to tell stories based on the tables and things like that. Based on the tables that are in the book, they will be given story seeds. So you might roll a dice and you might say, oh, the story seed that you're given is battle or romance or fairy or hospitality or something like that, something Arthurian knight style. But then, it's not the game master's responsibility at that point to tell that story, because it's the player then who takes either their own knight or perhaps one of their family members, engages that person with the story and with the setting, and writes something on the main map itself. So the game is a little bit different to a traditional role-playing and has a lot more player collaboration than what most games do. The other thing that Knight is about houses. So now, I say house, and I mean both, literally the physical bricks and mortar to which your character's house is and where their family members live, but also their family members themselves. From the very beginning of the game, you will begin your Knight and you'll be the head of a house. You will have two family members to begin with, such as younger brothers, siblings, sisters, cousins, all sorts of stuff. Adopted family members, perhaps. And those people also engage in their own stories. Now, while your Knight is the one that goes away on the quest phase and you focus deeply on exactly what happens in that adventure, in the thief phase, those other characters begin to have their own adventures and involve themselves in the world and build that world setting up. Now, examples of how that comes into play might be you roll a dice, you choose your younger sister, you roll battle, and then you roll a luck die or something like that. And then you roll a luck die, and it's terrible luck. So now it's the player's responsibility to come up with a story for that. Well, that's a pretty easy one. The younger sister was somehow involved in a battle, terrible luck, perhaps they have been captured, mutilated, killed, something like that. Regardless of that situation, the story has now moved on. So that's basically how the thief phase adds into the map. Another addition of the game is the map and map building. So a core part of the game is the map that you create at the start. Now, it starts out pretty empty with only your knights' houses and the major players involved on the map. But as the game continues, every single thief session that goes through, there's going to be more things added to the map, both by the game master and by the players themselves. And so when they'll be drawing in, they'll be coloring in the map, and that map really becomes a part of your campaign, of what's interesting to you. Well, I hope that I've interested you in what Knight has to offer. It's a very interesting game, very focused on collaborative storytelling type of play, and it rewards those type of players and GMs the most of all. But anyone can play it very quickly and very easily with its rules light system. So, hope to see you in Armour sometime. Fare thee well. Good night.